Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of TEPSA Presents, our Member Spotlight series. My name is Todd Nesloni, and I'm your host. I'm the Director of Culture and Strategic Leadership here at the Texas Elementary Principals and Supervisors Association. I am thrilled each week to bring you different members from across the state of Texas for you to learn from, gain some insight, ideas, and hear a piece of their story. And today, I am so excited to have Elodia Witterstaetter on with me. Elodia, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me, Todd. I am from Texarkana, Texas. This is an exciting time. You know, we're getting ready for spring break, so I know we've got a lot of eager students and staff ready to go on break. But just to tell you a little bit about myself, this is my 20th year in education, and it's all been with Texarkana ISD. And so I started my journey just working in the front office as a receptionist. And I really didn't realize that education is where I wanted to end up in. And so I've had great mentors along the way that have really encouraged me to go back to school. And so, yeah, I started my journey there, went from a receptionist, eventually moved into the classroom where I taught at the middle school. Seventh grade math. And then I again went back to school and got my principalship certification. And again, it was all just people believing in me and really giving me that push. And so I'm really excited. About to finish my superintendent certification here at the end of May.
Oh,
So
man.
it has been a full journey, but very blessed to have a great family support and our family that just continues to encourage me. So very inspiring.
Well, I love so much that your journey started where you weren't even considering a job in education. You were just working in the front office and somebody encouraged you. That's such an exciting moment when you realize, oh my gosh, you kind of see this. Maybe that is where I'll look into going and what I'll look into. And so, I'd love to know though, Elodia. So it makes sense you hearing that and thinking, okay, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to be a teacher. When did you kind of get that urge to think, I might be made for outside the classroom too, and some of these different opportunities?
Yeah, well, as I moved in through the paras, I went in and I was an administrative assistant who was a campus principal at that time, and he was also serving as an assistant superintendent, but he was housed at the middle school. And so that really gave me the opportunity to work with the leadership team and what all that embodied. And it was great to see those relationships that were built with our students and our teachers. And it really just got me hooked in saying, I can see myself doing that. And so, again, it was a great administrative team that I was able to learn from, and they encouraged me. So I just continued on.
I love that so much. Well, Elodia, part of our Member Spotlight series is, in addition to us learning a little bit about your journey, we love to pick up some new tools along the way. And so when you think of personally or professionally, doesn't matter, different tech tools that you use in your life, what's one you've brought to share with us today?
One of the tools that I use, and I've really kicked off this year, was the S'mores newsletter. Kind of
Mm.
had, a little bit here and there, but I really have tapped into that this year. I do my Wit memo every Monday. So that gets sent out on Sunday evenings. And it really just helps me even just staying organized with the big events happening on our campus. Anything from professional development, scheduling. We also do staff shout outs and even student shout outs. So a lot of great information there in a one-stop shop. And I can appreciate that versus, sending a lot of emails because I know that our inbox could get very heavy at times. And so I really do try to kind of minimize that with our weekly newsletter.
I love that you said that because sometimes as administrators, we just think, oh, we'll send out the weekly email or we'll send out reminders. And we know how quickly our inboxes get flooded and we forget things and things slip by, even when we leave it unread so we don't forget about it. And so I love that there's that one-stop shop that it's like, oh, you don't have to look through your inbox. It's here. And it's always going to be here and you can go there for all this stuff. So I love that you shared that. So what drew you to S'more? Why did you choose that one?
Well, I've kind of seen a little bit of it, and I know that you kind of send your weekly emails as well. And
Mhm.
then our district actually provided a license for every campus, and I was like, you know what, this would be a great time to jump on the bandwagon. And it's been great. We've been embedded, motivational quotes,
Uh-huh.
videos throughout the week. Sometimes I even beg, borrow, and steal some of yours. And but anyway, it's been a great tool and really have utilized it.
Mhm.
So I'm excited that I was able to jump in on that.
I love it. And hey, that's what we do as educators.
Yeah,
All we do is beg, borrow, and steal.
that's
So,
right.
well, Elodia, outside of the tech tools, obviously one of your roles as a campus administrator is also continuing to build up the culture. As we know, it's a never ending job. So, when you think of either things that you've seen, things that you've experienced yourself, upcoming ideas, what's something that you want to share today about building up the culture?
Yeah. I think that was one of my favorite things as an assistant principal is using the calendar and really plugging into those fun items.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of groups out there that we've joined, and it's again, beg, borrow, and steal those great ideas and make it your own. But this year, I was really excited that we have our Leader in Me action team, the culture team,
Mhm.
and that is made up of administrators, teachers, paras. And they've really have stepped up this year, and we'll plug in a couple of things throughout the month, and it's good to see them excited and they kind of take the lead. So it's kind of I'm letting go a little bit, and but it's great to see how they all kind of come together, and we're all celebrating one another because
Mhm.
it's a hard job, and we really do
Mhm.
appreciate everything that they do each and every day.
Well, I love that that was I was hoping you would
Yeah.
share this idea. So, just to let our listeners or viewers know, what's a day you've celebrated recently that was real fun?
Let's see, we had the National Oreo Cookie Day, and then we also had the cereal bar. And so I did
Uh-huh.
get that from one of the Facebook principal groups. And so, again, it's just seeing what other people are doing,
Mhm.
great ideas outside of the box. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, I saw your pictures of the cereal bar and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun." What I love is too with this idea that you're sharing is it's like these random days
Mhm.
that you're getting to celebrate, and we have to have those fun, silly moments because our job has a lot of seriousness to it as well. So I love that you shared that with us today about celebrating those. Well, Elodia, as we know, there are going to be other people listening in all sorts of roles, but we can always use some good advice. And so, if you're going to leave some advice, what would that be?
For any aspiring administrator or current administrator, is just a reminder, and I even have to tell myself this, is just to give yourself grace. We are in a everyday changing education world, and what I can appreciate is just the flexibility and just knowing that you will not have all the answers to everything, but at least keep pushing through, and it's okay to say that you don't know, and it's also okay to be vulnerable. It's not I know that a lot of the times vulnerability is seen as a weakness, but really it's a strength because then your staff really does get to see the real you. So it is hard, but give yourself some grace, and that's kind of where we learn. If we make a mistake, we just get right back up and try again.
I love what you said there about number one, owning your mistakes, but number two, being vulnerable and using that as a superpower instead of as a weakness. Such great advice today, Elodia. Well, if
Yeah.
our listeners or viewers want to connect with you on social media, are you on social media?
I am. I am. You can follow me at Twitter at Principal Wit, and I'm also on Facebook as Elodia Witterstaetter, and Instagram. I think I'm also at Principal Wit. So would love to connect. Great networking, and I love learning from other educators across the world.
So if you're listening or watching, definitely go and connect with Elodia because, like she said earlier in this conversation, half the ideas that we get, we've got because we're connecting with others. And so when we build up those connections, we get even more ideas. Well, Elodia, I'm so thankful that you got to be our member spotlight this week. Thank you for sharing your brilliance.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everybody, for listening or watching another episode. We hope to see you this summer at our TEPSA Summer Conference at the Kalahari Resort in Round Rock, Texas, June 7th through 9th. You will not want to miss it. We've got Sean Covey, Jimmy Casas, Carmen Agrediti, and so many more people that are going to be there. So come join 2,000 or so of your friends at the Kalahari. You can go to TEPSA.org to get more information today. We'll see you next week for an all new episode.